So in today's video, I'm finally going to be sharing the footage I have of me making this book cover for my novel, I'm Disappointed. So I actually made this cover around a year ago, and I've had the footage sitting on my computer for a year, and here's a bit of backstory on that. So basically, last year my computer died on me, so I got a replacement in around December. I never moved any of the data from my old computer onto the new one, which I'm currently using, and this footage was on that computer. So this entire time, for a couple of months, I thought that this footage was still on that computer and I just need to recover the data. And then I realized that it was saved onto my SD card, and then I'd moved it onto this computer and I had no idea. So then I moved all of that raw footage onto my hard drive, and like I mentioned in my most recent video, my hard drive actually died on me and I lost all of the footage for upcoming videos on this channel. So I thought I lost it again, which was a bit of a bummer. And when going through my pictures last week, I actually realized I had edited and exported the entire video and it was sitting on my computer this entire time. So I had re-edited it for no reason, but I digress. I am very happy that I have this footage because I have been dying to share a cover making video with you guys again. So the first video I ever shared on this channel was actually me making the book cover for this same novel, and that was the third book cover I made for this particular book, and this is the fourth one. So it's been a year, so I'm a little bit rusty on the process, but I'm gonna do my best. This cover was a 100% hand-drawn book cover. I didn't use a tablet because I didn't even have one at the time, so I did all of it on a pencil sketch and on a sheet of paper for my sketchbook, as you can see. So my whole concept for this book cover is a little bit blurred in my mind now, but I believe I got the idea at around midnight one night, which is basically how I get all of my ideas for book covers. It's a very spontaneous process for me, and I don't really have much of a method, but I came up with the idea that it would be really cool if I had on the front of the cover a boy and a girl, and they're both like listening to music and they're like looking at each other. But I did keep the idea of the silhouette, which has then transferred over to the fifth book cover that I've made, which fortunately I lost the footage for, but I can pop it up on the screen right now. I ended up the next day just drawing out the silhouette of a dude's head, and I found the picture online. I believe it was a stock photo, and then I just modified it a little bit so it looked a little bit more like Clifford, the main character of this particular novel. And then around that I drew this little swirly pattern, and if you look closely, in a lot of the swirls there are particular shapes. So if you can find it, there is a C for the main character's name, which is Clifford. There's an S for the other main character, Sydney. There's an electric guitar because music is a huge part in this book. There's a bird because that was also a symbol before I cut it out of the novel. There's a music note somewhere in here, and there's like a little vinyl because the vinyl is a very important symbol in the entire novel. So it was very small details, but I don't know, it just made me really appreciate this book cover, and I have made 5 book covers for this novel, and out of all 5, I can genuinely say that this one is my favorite, just because I think it had a lot of personality to it, it had a lot of meaning to it, and it was that book cover that made this sort of pivotal step in my design, almost book cover making journey, that made me feel like I was actually okay at doing this. So I did make this book cover in GIMP. This was not done in Photoshop because I didn't even have Photoshop at the time. So if you're feeling discouraged because you feel like you need Photoshop to make a good book cover, don't fear, I'm gonna have a video coming out soon of me just giving you some tips and tricks on how to make book covers in GIMP and just using a free software to its best ability. I love GIMP and still think it's a great software. So a bit about the process of how I made this. After I scanned in the drawing I did of the front cover, I then went ahead and drew out the back cover, which I did not film because it was kind of boring. I cut out a lot of me drawing this because it's very repetitive, but then I removed the background off of the sketch and I filled in the little silhouette so that you could actually see it and it would stand out against the background in white. There wasn't really too much to this book cover, and especially the back I was not really paying much attention to because the back, it wasn't really a focal point, it wasn't really something I was focusing on designing all that well. So for the back, you can't really read that summary at all, and I actually had a reason for this. It's kind of stupid, but I was gonna bring this book to school because I wanted to show a couple of my teachers, and I'm really strange around teachers and like them reading about my stuff, because usually they just give it to other people without, you know, sometimes that happens, and it was a bit of a cautionary practice, I guess. Wouldn't do that again, but that was just my logic a year ago. So that back cover isn't really designed all that well, and neither is the spine, in my opinion. I think spine design and back cover design is a whole different art in itself than front cover design, but this book cover didn't take me all that long. I think it took me an entire day. It wasn't that bad from drawing to the final product, and I did have so much fun making this book cover. So if you want to learn a little bit more about I'm Disappointed, I will leave its novel page link on my blog below. I feel like I learned so much through making this book cover, and without it, I don't think I would really be going down this path of continuing to make book covers, because it's one of my absolute favorites. So even though this is outdated, and I personally think my cover design is a little bit better now, I wanted to share this anyway because it's a bit of a nostalgic video for me and kind of reminds me of where I started almost. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was so much fun for me to put together, and I'm so happy that I'm finally getting this video out for you guys. So if you'd like to see more cover design videos, come back here soon, and if you'd like to see something in particular, leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, comments, just want to say hi, you can leave me an ask on my Tumblr ask box, which will be linked down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!